Hello, Makers here, or Daddy Be Chill, some of you might know me. Just wanted to kind of show off my Phoenix Strike Assassin. Sass on the Assassin Discord kind of showed off his and the play style and kind of featured what it was about, and I wanted to show something maybe a little more in the game of what it was capable of. As far as stats go, strength for gear, dex for gear, um, vit for the rest of it, uh, skill tree, all synergies regarding Phoenix Strike, and the Shadow Disciplines, Claw and Dagger Mastery ends up being my kind of final max. And then I just 1 point Cloak of Shadows, Weapon Block, obviously if you're hardcore, no need for that. Burst of Speed, Fade, Venom, Burst of Speed and Venom, kind of being what you're using out of that. And then in the Traps tree we're looking for Blade Shield, just because we are upping our main hand. I looked for an Eth main hand, and it does end up leeching a pretty good bit of life back, as well as mana here. As far as gear, in my main hand, Eth Bartux, +1, 2 socket, Zodvex for mana, mana leech, 3 socket Crown of Ages, cannot be frozen, +1 Seraphs, 3 socket Bartux. In the offhand, I chose Lightning Facets. The lightning skill damage on here is low. At the time, we were under the impression that the lightning skill wasn't affected by Phoenix Strike. Come to find out that it is, or I'm still unsure entirely, but I'm fairly sure we've kind of come to a conclusion that it is affecting it, the lightning skill damage at least. Fortitude, or Stone rather, not Fortitude. The Merc uses Fortitude. 220 gloves will minus target. Curse reduction on the gloves, the belt, or the rings, the belt. And then for boots, we're just using Shadow Dancers. For charms, I mostly tried to piece together just to get my resists up to 75 and then stopped working with it. Annie, Torch, MA Skillers. There is a 12 FHR one. I do like hitting the 200 FHR with the 16 FCR. Alright, so torn between. I wanted to kind of show off the strength of this build, and I really think Sewers is a pretty good option. Sewers sucks, I think we all know that, but as far as like what the MA Assassin's good at, she's really good at sticking and moving, and these short corridors really, or short pockets, really allow her to kind of do that. And the monsters don't have to, you don't have to go back for them. Because really, normally it's just one Dragonflight, and then, you know, the next pack, you don't have to go back and forth all day between 200 packs. So, weirdly enough, even though I'm trash with the layout, I think this map itself, especially now that the Vipers are improved, is pretty strong, honestly, for her, for the Phoenix Strike Assassin. We have dolls on here. I don't really care. Whatever. I've been playing on hardcore, so it kind of feels like a nice break to be able to die, relax, and not have the quenching moments here, so forgive me if I really don't hit a Julie or care at all. I just want to show kind of the strength of this build. It's not really about the speed like a Trapper might be. I know if you've played a Trapper, you really get used to how speedy and abusive the Death Sentry is right now. But this build does require a little more, I won't say skill, but a little more finesse into what you're doing. If I'm going to jump into a crazy room, I'm going to Cloak of Shadows first, obviously. Maybe try and kind of lock up the archers, or in these cases the flayers. They're pretty annoying in here. so annoying because I have terrible poison use. So yeah, they have a tendency to do that to me. It just stays and lasts forever. I don't really remember if I rolled extra poison damage on this build either. So. But yeah, it's the playstyle here. Some monsters I am spending a little more time making sure they're dying, but that's just because I don't feel like walking back over and seeing that I left 20 elites on the ground walking around. Although I don't care about gear, I don't want to showcase me leaving 200 packs up as I go around clearing this dungeon. The stick and move playstyle does sometimes feel like, oh, I did leave 2 or 3 mobs back there. That doesn't feel very good. The trapper wouldn't have done that. So this one does require a little bit more walk back, make sure you do it. I guess pick up potions if you care. But yeah, overall, I really like her. When I built this character, I used all my money from my trapper in order to kind of fund this character and go silly with, corrupting at Bartux to try and get the +1, which I never did, or corrupting Bartux in general. Of course, explosion. It's so strong. I did hit the puzzle box on my Bartos though. This is kind of what it looks like in the end. A little less deaths. Obviously the leech nerf definitely hit, but it didn't kill this build. Still very fun. Still very viable. She do fine in Player's Aid. That's really what I built the survivability of this character for. Like in single player, it might feel a little overboard to have this much FHR or curse immunity when everything's frozen, But when you're in Player's Aid or when you're trying to go for EXP, cannot be frozen mods are great EXP to the map mods. So. Sometimes you gotta deal with that. You don't want to be exploding the moment you get into the map because you're, in the Player's Aid, I feel like she's a really good CC bot. Honestly, she dives really good into the back line, freezes up the archers, or cloak a shadow, and then lock up important targets so that your other players don't die to shitty packs that are, Might or Fana or Enchanted. Oh yeah. Just get used to the playstyle. Don't waste too much time kind of chopping down enemies with your claws. Make sure you're keeping your self buffs up, because like you saw there, the moment my burst of speed dropped with my CTA, it just you could feel the difference. My damage just kind of fell off a cliff. Blade shield, my leeching, my survivability, it all goes hand in hand and all kind of stays on the same timer, so it's worth making a mental timer of when your things are gonna fall off, or what it feels like when they do fall off. I'm at the boss. This is the guy who teleports with the thunderstorm. He's gonna get me. Blade shield up there. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know the map layout here, but I don't feel like it's a bad map. There's not a lot of undead. All these shitty little minion mobs really run up and kind of eat all the AoE that you're putting out really fast. obviously you're gonna spike. I mean, you're playing a melee build, you're tele-stomping into packs, it's gonna happen. It's gonna die sometimes, like a shitter. But yeah, that's that.